podcast clips, geese, and also perhaps fun and games.
Welcome to the Taboo Tater Tots Club podcast, where we talk about anything that interests us, such as those things.
And also, I hear the dog's crying. It's probably just the one. Because he's a little baby. I was going to say bitch, but no, Buddy's the bitch. Booth is the baby.
Yeah.
Morgan's babysitting.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah.
Worst decision I ever made.
Has it been pretty rough?
I hate kids. I hate you.
We have a friend in the studio.
Oh, he's coming to say hello or something.
Yeah. You can't really see it. I guess I should have put a
screen capture.
A screen capture?
Or
it's
just
going to
display.
Display?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should probably put him outside.
Yep.
Morgan installed a goose. Anyway.
Yes, and we have named him
Ryan.
I'll be right back.
Not because of Ryan Gosling. I thought of that afterward. But because the most annoying person I've ever met in my entire life, their name was Ryan. And I found a coffee ground in my coffee. While Morgan is away, today, I guess it's like a Northwest type of a thing, but Shasta, the soda bottling company Shasta, they have a chocolate sundae flavor, and it is quite delightful. It's somewhere between chocolate frosting and Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Normally I'm not a fan of chocolate either, but it is actually really damn good.
You know what I tried the other day for the very first time?
Being gay?
No, I've tried that once before.
What's up?
I don't remember. Actually, I think it's on my search history. I tried a couple of different alcohols that I've never tried before. One of them was... so I've done this twice already. I've gone out and grabbed 3 of the little mini whiskeys.
Yeah.
Of things that I've never tried before. The last time I tried some kind of Canadian dry gin, because I've never had gin, and it tasted actually like rubbing alcohol smells. And I thought, oh god, that's pretty bad. And I'm like, wait, perhaps I just got a really bad kind of gin. So I tried a different one. It was a vapor infused Blue Bombay gin. And I'm like, I will try this and see how good this is compared to the other one. It was worse. It didn't just taste like thank you, Ryan. Looking for trouble and I cannot find it. I will create it. Thank you. It didn't just taste like rubbing alcohol. It tasted like peroxide too. And
also, it was extra healthy.
Yeah.
It was extra disinfecting.
Sure. The double XL giant cups from Maverick. I had half of that filled with Diet Pepsi because I wanted to taste the alcohol that I was drinking, and I could still taste peroxide. So I dumped an entire 20-ounce bottle of Diet Sprite in it. I could still taste the peroxide, and I put half of the little flavor packet thingy of Kool-Aid in there, and I could still almost taste it, but it was bearable at that point. Also, I think I'm allergic to gin because after I drank it, I got itchy all over the place.
You do realize gin is usually a mixed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you do also realize, and this is just a proven...
Thank you, Ryan. Honks instead of stonks. Very good.
Yes. You also do realize that, and this is just a fact, Diet Pepsi, or Diet in general, is weaker than standard.
I would assume so, yes.
So if you really want to mix it good, get a normal Pepsi.
I probably should have, but anyway, I had a different kind of whiskey that I've never had. By the way, the first time I tried this, I tried Maker's Mark for the first time because I've always been a Jack Daniels kind of guy. And I had heard that, Maker's Mark is really smooth. It goes down really smooth. There's hardly any burn, and it's really good just sipping whiskey. And Jack Daniels, I can tell you very assuredly, it is not a good sipping whiskey.
It smells like cigarettes.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. So I tried Maker's Mark, and that was actually really delightful. I liked it. I probably could sip that just on the rocks if I wanted to. But I had I think it's actually Italian. Yes, it's Italian. It's called Di Saronno. It is an amaretto, meaning that it is the flavor is distinctly almond. And that was so incredibly amazing. It reminded me of a very specific, like mixing it in with Diet Pepsi is what I'm talking about. It reminded me of a children's cough syrup without the gross medicine-y aftertaste. And it brought me back. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I need to like start drinking this because this sounds really good. Thank you, Ryan. Fucking goddamn it. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the speaker.
Will you also bring down my limit?
Your limit?
Yeah.
Where's? Oh, well, I mean Ryan has my mouse. Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
But yeah, I just brought that up because this chocolate stuff would taste really good with that amaretto stuff.
I bet it would.
Yeah, because
you know,
almondy and chocolatey would probably taste really good together.
People, I've heard that Jameson, which is my personal favorite.
I can't stand Jameson. Wait, no, I'm never mind. I don't think I've tried Jameson. No, I have. It was the Jose Cuervo that I couldn't stand.
Cuervo.
Close enough.
Why do I put an accent on it?
Because it's Spanish?
Maybe because I'm uncultured. Anyways, people say that it doesn't make a good sipping whiskey.
Yeah.
I could drink that shit all the fucking day.
Yeah.
Just on the rocks.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a 3J chaser, not chaser, 3J shooter.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
No, but I assume it's alcohol, and I assume it's alcohols that start with J.
Yeah, it's literally just 3 shots on a little tray, and you're supposed to knock them back one after another. And it's Jack, Jose, and Jameson.
But Jose is an H.
No, it's not. It's a J.
It's an H here in America.
Well, good thing Jose isn't an American name.
Exactly. But it's in America, so therefore it's an H.
Okay.
We went 2 different routes with that, and I love it.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to evict the goose in order to get what we want up on screen.
I can always mess around with the settings a bit.
Yeah.
And make it so that he's less
Annoying.
Obnoxious, yeah.
Yeah. By the way,
but he's meant to be obnoxious at the same time, you know? And I don't want to take away from that.
By the way, we got a monitor mount, which is super fucking cool. I'm going to swing this over this way. Just so I can show. Oh, that got. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because when you extend the displays, it doesn't display them properly. Anyway, yeah, we got a really cool mount. This is the second screen mount, and that is the the first screen mount, of course, and it's really super cool, and it's been working pretty good so far. And I really like it because I don't have to like just whoop.
It's much better on the neck.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I noticed that it has trouble staying.
No, I told you how to fix that, and you must have forgotten it. I fixed it.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep this right here from now on.
Okay. So I figured it was just something else. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, it's just a little a nut that you have to tighten.
Wait, where does it go during November?
Hell.
Oh, that poor nut.
Anyway, we got something specific planned for you guys. Something that I've never seen before.
And I'm very excited.
Oh, it's not. That's right. It's just that. There we go. Actually, yes, we do need the speaker. There we go. There it is.
You'll want to turn the speaker down so that the mics aren't picking it up.
Yep. Do. Probably don't want it all the way up. Do. Okay, so this is it's just audio. It is from the podcast called Distractable. It is with Markiplier, Bob, and Wade. If you guys know who that is.
My Skirm and Lord Minion 777.
Huh?
That's their YouTube.
What did you say?
Markiplier, My Skirm, Lord Minion 777.
Myskirm?
Yes, that's Bob.
I didn't know he had an actual, like, username. I remember the other two, of course.
Yeah,
But
I think he has a YouTube channel.
yeah, I didn't know he had an actual like internet presence at all.
Well, he does, obviously, because
Yeah.
he's friends with Mark and Wade. They actually went to college together.
Did they?
Yeah. I think that's how they all met. I'm not entirely sure. But they went to college in Cincinnati, I believe it is.
Oh.
Or maybe they grew up in Cincinnati. I don't know.
Either way, we have a segment that we're going to try our best to make fair use, transformative content. We're going to be pausing and commentating and kind of like the Wendigoon videos. If there's a spot that we don't comment on for quite a while, then we'll probably cut that out.
I'll do good by this.
Yeah, but check it out.
Despicable.
I almost said dispendables, but that's not it. Distractable on YouTube. There's just like a little animated picture that's might as well be a still frame, so I just downloaded the audio only. And we're going to listen to it. It's called Bob's Fridge.
And for the record, this was uploaded like a year ago now. So they've gotten pretty much all the monetization that they're going to get from it at this point. So.
And welcome to Distractable, a Wood Elf production with your hosts.
Are we not going to do How Are You Doing?
Did we not just do that?
You did.
How for to you, Morgan?
Buddy got in a fight.
Oh yeah, buddy got into a fight. Sorry.
Yeah, he got in a fight and he didn't lose. And I've never seen that dog fight before.
I thought you were going to say he didn't live. And I'm like, I just saw him like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's dead. That's just a figment of your imagination.
He went to go live on the farm.
Dude, he would love living on a farm.
Yeah, because he's a border collie.
But he would also be... How did you land it like that? It's like the Yoda duck has a tire.
I don't know.
Anyways, he would be very upset after a while. Because the farm isn't his home. This is.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. So I ordered a thing.
Is that it for the fight story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buddy dodged most of the fucking bites. And landed some pretty good ones.
He stung like a butterfly and floated like a bee.
No, he floated like a butterfly and stung like an anvil.
Like an anvil?
Yeah.
You say anvil?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all about where you're from.
It's all about being correct.
It's all about...
The sea shoot fucking bullshit.
What?
I was trying to quote Limp Bizkit. There's a song that goes, "It's all about the she said, he said bullshit." I failed miraculously.
And it was beautiful.
Okay.
I ordered a thing, and it gets here Friday. I ordered a new HDMI port, so we're going to be replacing that on a Series S here soon.
Our new bottle of Dubby should be here Friday too.
Oh, it's just a glorious day!
Bottle, tub, whatever.
Tube.
Bucket. It's too small to be a bucket.
Toilet.
On today's episode of the show, we're going to be discussing what constitutes a bucket.
Does it hold things? Yes. It's a fucking bucket.
I think it needs to have a handle.
No, there's buckets out there that don't have handles.
Handleless buckets.
Yes. Like, for example, think about those, like, really cheap dollar store, like, sandcastle buckets.
Those are molds.
No, there's, like, an actual bucket.
Usually those are called molds, though.
Yeah, well, that's what I was mistaken for when I was born.
As a person with severe fungophobia, thank you for that image.
You're welcome. And I also got, and I'm really excited for this. If you've seen the Tech Talk, and well, you experience it firsthand, I can't hold on to screws for shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I got myself a magnetic work mat.
That's cool, but I told you all along you should just grab one of your little rock-looking magnets from your fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is so if I accidentally drop them, they won't go anywhere.
Oh, it's to put, like, at your feet? In case they fall?
It's a work mat. So you put I guess you could put it at your feet, but you put it down and then you put the object you're working on it. And then you go to work.
I see.
And it catches the screws and the bolts and the trunnions.
Trunnions?
So yeah, that's how life is going for me right now.
Okay.
Are you still stuck on the trunnion thing?
Yeah.
I know what a trunnion is, I just can't think of a trunnion is.
What? 2, 3, 4, 5 heck?
What?
Cause you know how Hispanic people have a lot of trouble, like, putting words together, cause you know it's a second language, and sometimes they'll say something like "what to fuck" or "what to heck." I mean, my wife sometimes will be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 27 heck. depending on how many hex we want to express.
Speaking of your wife, you had a scare recently, didn't you? Or do you not want me to mention that?
What?
Your wife being family?
My wife being family.
Yes.
We're not related, Morgan. What do you mean?
You're related by marriage.
Uh-huh.
Family. I'm not even talking about your wife particularly.
Then why would you bring up my wife in regards to it?
Because you saying my wife made me think of the...
Are you talking about my grandpa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you wanting to bring that up?
We
or-
can bring it up. It's fine. But, like...
I was trying to be discreet about it in case you didn't want to bring it up. You know?
You...
Do you seriously not count your wife family?
Yes, but that's not the part that I'm hooked up on. The part that I'm hooked up on is you saying the words you had a scare and wife.
Okay, yeah, I can see how that can be confusing, but you saying wife made me think of family. Classic association.
No,
Yeah?
there's nothing classic about that.
Well, it's better than saying vintage.
Anyway, my mom, the last time I was here, just messaged me and was like, hey, your grandpa's in the hospital. His speech is slurred and his jaw is trembling. So I started panicking and we got somebody to come cover the rest of my shift and I went to go see him. But by the time that I picked up my mom to go see him at the hospital, he was already gone. And I'm like 90% sure that we saw him and my grandma pass by us, like on the way to the hospital, for them going home. And we're like, hey, where are you guys? To my aunt. And she was like, we're already home at your grandpa's place. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll be there in a minute. And the way that my mom described it, which I guess it was like a game of telephone, my grandma told my aunt told my mom, and my mom told me.
It sounded like a stroke.
It sounded like he had a stroke, but what happened is that he has an infection somewhere. By the way, they found out it was in his molar. They were like, it's either in the jaw itself or the molar, and it could be like pressing up against like a
nerve.
A nerve. And his speech wasn't slurred. He was just in so much pain that he could barely open his mouth to speak. Which, if you're playing a game of telephone, I guess could kind of sound the same as his speech is slurred, but not really. I was a little bit upset. I wasn't upset that I had gone there to see if he was okay, obviously. But I was just a little bit upset that she made me panic so damn bad.
I would have been upset with you if you didn't go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I forget. It being in his molar, is that what we want? Is that better than his jaw?
Yeah, because if it was his jaw, they might have had to have, like, actually, like, gone into the meat of his face and, like, fucked with things inside of the bone and, like... Yeah, with the molar, they probably just have to take out the tooth and, like, clean out the roots. And if it's any further deeper, then yeah, they're gonna have to, like, go in there really deep and clean it out. But they said where it only happened the one time where it, like, started spasming and hurting him real bad to where he couldn't even talk. They said it's probably was just the root of the tooth. And they said that they want to keep an eye on him, like not him being in the hospital, but just, you know, my grandma being like, oh, I better keep an eye on you type of a thing for a week. And if he doesn't show any more like weird symptoms like that, then he should be clear.
Do you think it would be like they take out the tooth, clean it, and then they just put the tooth back in like a Lego?
No, probably not.
Dude,
Because
that,
the tooth itself is probably rotted, and if you put it back in, then it's just gonna happen the same way again.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how I would imagine it being like a Lego. Just
Okay.
anyways, how is he doing? I know I asked last night.
Yeah. He's still. He's still because because this happened when Thursday. It happened Thursday. And then.
I can tell you if you want.
Oh yeah, that's right, huh? You can, can't you? I think it was either last Wednesday or Thursday that this happened.
A few moments later.
Yeah.
I can't find the message.
Let's just say it was Thursday. So,
That sounds right.
it happened Thursday. They couldn't get anybody to see him until Monday, which was 2 days ago. Then you asked me last night. So, yeah, he's still on like mushy foods. He's eating basically like macaroni salad and mashed potatoes, and that's basically it.
Good thing we live in Idaho.
Yeah.
He's not gonna starve.
Yeah. And refried beans. He loves refried beans.
Frijoles.
Yeah, he's still eating mush, but he went to the grocery store yesterday, so, and that was the day after they like took his tooth out, so.
Well, I'm glad he's doing okay because the world is better with him in it. Because he is an absolute fucking hilarious badass.
Yeah.
But I was trying to respect your privacy, but at the same time, I was like, do you want to bring that up or,
Yeah, I don't care.
you know?
Yeah.
So I figured you didn't because you were okay with me telling B, but
Oh, I'm like, who? Yeah.
I know I had to think about what her name started with first, too.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
the thing is, I know somebody whose name is just B-E-A, B. So,
seriously?
yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It's just a name.
But that's kind of cool.
Okay.
I want to change my name to something cool. Like Morgasm. Or Dave.
Why Dave? Why do you have such a hyperfixation with Dave?
I don't know, why don't you?
Anyway, we're going to listen to this clip. It's like 40-some minutes long, but we probably won't
Use all of it.
use all of it, so...
But, again, check out as if they need my shout out.
Yeah.
They're doing better than we could ever hope.
Yeah.
But check out Distractable.
Anyway.
Bend their minds to the modern day Pandora's box that is Bob's Fridge.
You're going to want
Please
to
prepare
turn
to
down
hold thy gourd
speaker.
and enjoy the show.
Hey guys, welcome to the Distractable Podcast. Here we discuss anything that interests us and compete to see who can bring the most captivating stories to the table. Whoever brings the best story, as judged by yours truly, will be declared the winner of the podcast and will earn the right to host next week's episode and play the role of a judge. Being as I, killed it last week, I get to host this week, and I am Wade Barnes, joined by my lovely, beautiful co-hosts, Mark Fishbach and Bob Meiskins. Hey guys.
You almost forgot how to say my name, didn't you?
I did.
I can
I
tell.
was like, Bob.
Is his last name actually Meiskins?
I think so, yeah.
I won't criticize it because it does work, but it's just it's just very bouncy.
All right, you want me to try it again?
I love Bob's laugh, by the way. It makes me so
Hey
happy.
guys, podcast
Yeah.
time. I'm Wade, this is Mark and Bob. Let's go!
I hope someday we're like hanging out or just like doing something really casual and everyone's being normal and at some point Wade is just like, whoa guys, hey! He just like starts the cadence and everyone is like, wait, why are you reading a script right now?
So let me tell you about this story I experienced last week when I went to the grocery store and had to buy milk.
Who wants to play some beer pong? Let's get the cups ready. Line them up, I'm ready.
House rules bounces are 2 cups you can swap, but only on a bounce. Blowing is allowed.
I feel like I'm slowly devolving into game show host version of John Wayne. All right there, pilgrims. Welcome to Distractable.
Do you ever, this just happened, do you ever laugh or talk and the voice that comes out of you scares your own self?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My voice is like a little hoarse.
Have you?
And I just laughed and my
No.
whole body was like, whose laugh was that? What the hell? Whoa,
Have you ever
man.
felt like a spider wave of saliva in your throat and you go to speak and it like blocks your vocals and you sound like something completely different? You're like, oh, and then you go, oh, but it's still there blocking. You're like, oh, no, and you're really scared and then like the bubble pops and you're like, oh, I'm back.
Yeah, no, I
That-
have a lot.
I've done that.
It actually is just like you're so funny at one point, the demon standing behind you chuckles.
Wait, what?
So we're not even into the episode yet. Have you guys ever heard a voice, like you're laying in bed, you're trying to fall asleep, have you ever heard a voice that wasn't your voice in your head? Does that happen to you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
The thing that happens to me sometimes is I'll just be like almost asleep, and then like my body is just like, you're gonna die one day, it's gonna be terrible, and I'm like, oh god, I'm awake, but like it still sounds like me. It's like big wave.
Okay, I only ever hear my own voice, like 99% of the time. But I was trying to.
You know what I did? What has happened to me very recently, actually, just this past week, is that when it was a little bit windy, I had all the windows open in the house, and we were still asleep at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and the door of the bathroom was just gently just, poof, poof, poof. And then in real life, not in my dream, but I was asleep still. But in real life, I screamed, "What?" And I was still asleep, so I heard and felt Alex turn over, probably looking at me like, and I could hear and feel that, and I was just laying there like, but in my mind I was like, was that real? Did that really happen? I can't tell.
That happens to me all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Fall asleep the other night, and I was just thinking about the day and like, you know, whatever, something stressed me out, I don't know. And I was just laying there, and I heard, it sounded like it came from across the room. It was not Mandy, she was asleep. I just heard a voice that said exactly what I was thinking, that was like, that's not something you need to be upset about. Like it was my mom or something, but it wasn't it wasn't anyone's voice that I recognized. It was just like a woman's voice. I didn't sleep for like a few hours after that because my entire body was just like, what the fuck? Is that a thing that happens to other people more normally? Am I weird?
I mean, I've had it happen all the time.
All the time.
Auditory hallucination, or is this your brain just being like, here's a voice randomly? Ooh. No, I've had that. I've had people whisper like inches from my ear when I'm like either waking up or going straight to bed, and it would just be someone saying hello, and it would be like fucking.
I don't like
I
that.
hear
That's bad.
doors opening and closing. I hear it all the time. Yeah.
I've like felt my grandma's hand on my shoulder. My grandma passed away in like 2005. Occasionally I'll like smell her perfume, or like she was a smoker or something, like I could smell the smoke or something. I'll feel her hand on my shoulder like a guardian angel type thing.
Weird.
I wouldn't like that. I would turn around and be like, fuck off, grandma!
Like, there's been moments like where I'm driving and someone will swerve at me. Like obviously we got hit by the semi, but like other than that, there's been a few moments where like something I should not have seen, I'll like just barely dodge, and I'll feel like she like pushed my hands to help me turn away from it or something, which is really weird.
No, those are grasping out at you from the beyond, like, you know, coming to me now. Oh, just missed you.
Oh my god, she was pulling the other way, like, oh, die, come back to me.
Oh, maybe next time.
Some douchebag uncle that always hated you pops up, and grandma's trying to save you, and the uncle's like, nah, come on. Steer him into it, come on. Yeah, come on. You want to visit with your grandson, don't you? Come on, I'll bring him to see you.
All of this supernatural discussion has me excited for today's topic, which is delivery.
Oh, right, yeah. Topical.
What a segue.
Delivering you to the beyond as fast as possible.
It's not possession, it's DiGiorno.
A little bit today. The topic comes, I feel like it's already kind of a biased topic, but Bob had a heck of an experience, and we're so excited. Mark and I were so excited to hear how happy he was about it.
Yeah.
That we had to change our topic last minute.
Yeah.
From a very other good one that we definitely
A very other good one.
delivered.
Bob, if you're ready, I will yield my time to you if you
Well, so are you gonna try and compete with this, Mark, or are we just
No,
gonna let
God,
this happen?
no.
Okay.
I'm gonna let that roll. I have something else for it, but I want to hear this.
I still reserve the right to the points where I want them.
Points.
The authority is just leaking out of you.
Hey, I'm in charge and I can stutter my way through a sentence if I want to. This is my episode. Maybe it was my uncle trying to shut me up. He was shoving a ghost sock in my mouth right there.
I yield my
Are you sure it was a sock?
This is a story about a new refrigerator. We got a deal on it. Honestly, we saved $1,000 on it because there was a big sale, and I'm pretty proud of that. But I want to preface this by saying this is a very first world problem. So with all I hear everyone out there thinking like, oh, my new refrigerator didn't go so smooth.
How dare you? I listen to this podcast on my iPhone.
Shut up.
And I can't even afford a refrigerator.
Shut your mouth. I know it's a first world problem. So Mandy and I we live in a new house. We recently bought a house, which is very exciting but stressful. And the refrigerator in our house, it kept things cold. It's gone now. He's dead, so I don't have to talk about him in the present tense. Kept things cold, but it was stanky.
He's dead.
He's dead. He got taken away. He's unplugged. I don't know. He's dead. He's gonna go get crushed up.
Was your refrigerator a person?
I don't know. It's kind of an asshole.
kind of an asshole.
Just like a cadaver that you stored things in?
An old man in the back turning a crank.
I'll keep the food cold for you. Just let me live.
I wouldn't stink so bad. If I'd shower, I wouldn't stink so bad. Let me shower.
That old man in the back is probably why the food that came out of that thing was so freaking stanky. I don't know. I don't know what happened. And like, it's just an old fridge. It's not like I'm not saying anything about the person who lived here before us, but the water that came out of it, the ice, the food, it just had a stank. Clearly didn't fix it. The baking soda and the thing didn't fix it. So we got a new one. And like, that's pretty exciting. New fridge is exciting. You know, no one has stored their dog's semen in it before.
That is a very specific qualification.
I'm not saying that I know I've lived in a house with a fridge where there was dog semen stored in it.
No,
I'm
not
just
yet.
saying, if you live in a rental especially, you don't know what was in that fridge before.
You know, he's got a point.
Just wait.
Well, I
just,
decide
Is
that.
there any amount of cleaning that
only
makes it okay
good
for
reason,
you to
the
eat
only
a piece
good
of lunch
reason that
meat
I can possibly
fell out of the
think
bag and touch the shelf where once
for
in
having
years past,
a roommate
little
that
vessel of
stores
sat? I
dog
don't know if
semen in
that's
your
okay. I don't know.
communal
It's like the
fridge
same equivalent of you have
as if
no
he's a
idea
breeder,
what
and
went
that
on
is
in your
it.
hotel bed.
Yeah.
Like
Any
you
other
have
reason,
no idea what kind of freaks
bullet
were in
to the
there
head.
just before
I don't
you,
care.
What kind of fluids were flinging all over the walls.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Careful what you lick in a hotel room. That's all I'm saying.
You know me, I lick every corner of the room. I have to as soon as I walk into the
That's how
room.
it feels like home. That's how you adjust. So we're excited about this new fridge.
Yeah, good.
So it was supposed to be delivered 9 days ago, and I bought it like 2 weeks ago now. They took my money happily, and they were like, yeah, we'll give you a fridge. And I was like, okay, and left like an idiot.
Did you get to pick it out, or did they just tell you they'd bring you one?
Yeah, no, I told them which one I wanted, and they were like, sure, silver one, got it.
Oh, okay, good.
We'll send it right over.
Yeah.
So the initial delivery is scheduled. So the guys show up. Honestly, the first guy, well, I spoiled some of it, but the first team that showed up to deliver our refrigerator, they show up and they assess the house. Our front door is real big, but there's a little door that goes in the kitchen that you can't bring the fridge through. So he looks at the garage, and finally he decides, okay, we got to drag this thing. We have a big back sliding door. We got to drag this thing around the side of the house through the side yard and then in the back door. That's the way it'll fit easiest. And so we have 2 side yards because I'm filthy rich. Not a one side yard house. We got 2 whole side yards. And they decide to go through the really narrow one, which becomes an issue later, which we'll get to. And so they go through this whole thing that I don't know what happens to them, but they're packed like if outside air touches them, they will combust.
What?
Appliances are, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a brand new appliance. It comes in a full like plastic wrap, like fully vinyl wrapped. and then there's like foam padding on the corners and above that, and then there's another layer of like strapped on padding or cardboard, and then there's another layer of like a wrapping around that, and then there's a box around that. So when they show up to bring it, it takes them like 10 minutes to get the thing down off the truck and cut the outer layers of packaging off to get it ready to bring it inside. And so they go through this whole thing, and once they decide they're going to bring it through the smaller side yard, the narrow side yard, I look at it and I'm like, I don't think that's going to fit, guys. And he looks at it and he measures it and he's like, no, it'll fit. And I'm standing there and I'm like, I really don't think that's going to fit, but like, this is their job. It's fine. Just do what you're going to do, which again, like an idiot, I assumed that they would know how to do their job. And so they start dragging it. They bring it up the driveway. They start trying to get it through the gate. There's like a gate that swings open, and the gate is swung all the way open up against the gas meter. The gas meter is behind the gate, and you hope, like, ideally they'd like slide it right through. It fits, and they keep going, right? They get it up, and it does that thing where they try to move it through, and it just goes dunk, and it's like, oh, whoa, 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 hey, whoa, whoa, and like the delicate parts are all still wrapped, so it's still like padded, but I just see like it's not quite gonna fit. Like it's like an inch too big.
Yeah.
And the guys are there, and they're like, no, it's gonna fit. And it goes from the soft dunk to like they're finagling it. The way it goes through the gate, the back of the fridge is scraped up the whole gate. Each little step they're taking, the fridge on the fence is just like and I'm standing here watching, just like okay, and like it finally gets through, and I look at it. There's no damage. Everything's fine. It was just sort of rubbing on the gate. I think it was fine, but so this is how it starts. And they get it through. They get all the way to the backyard before they're about to bring it inside the house. And I look at the front of it, and there's a huge dent. Oh. It's not huge. Okay, maybe it's a 2-inch-ish around dent. But I look at it and I'm like, that's a dent. And the guy does that thing where he looks and he's like, oh, it's not a dent. These things are padded. It's fine. And I like touch it. And I'm like, no, dude, that's a dent. It's clearly a dent. And he like licks his thumb and rubs it and like, now that'll buff out.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, what a method.
And finally I convinced the dude. I'm like, it's a dent. And he's like, well, do you want us to install it or not? I'm like, no, I don't want a brand new refrigerator I just paid a shit ton of money for to have a dent on it. Like, I want a new one out of the box. I paid a lot of money for this fucking thing. And like he does that thing that like, and I've totally been there. I've worked jobs like this. He does that, gives me that look when I'm like, no, I don't, take it back. Like, I don't want it. Fix this. He's like, okay, we can fix it. In a more respectful tone, he says whatever he says, but his eyes are saying that, you know. He looks right at me, and his head flops over, and he's just like, yeah, fine, we'll put it back on the truck. Thanks. And man, did they not give a fuck about that fridge once it was damaged. So how it barely fit through the gate the first time. On the way out, they were just like, gosh, get it out. Fuck, get out of here. Like, man, I thought they damaged my gate. Like, Jesus. And they got it out of there, and they were just like, well, take it back, and they'll call you. And they drove off in a huff. And I thought that was that. Now, let me say, this is going to be the end of Act 1. These guys did a great job compared to the second group of delivery people. Like, I miss them.
Oh, no.
I wish they would have been the guys who delivered the fridge today. Because, of course, this happened this morning. Because, of course, it did. I long for their great handling of everything that occurred. But yeah, so they're gone, and you think like, okay, that exchange is over, right?
Yeah.
There's a fallout to that exchange that I can't understand how this happened. So Mandy and I wake up the next morning after that initial delivery where it was dented, and we asked him to take it back. The house is freezing. We live in Northern California, right? So it got down to like 45 degrees that night, and we usually leave the heat on kind of low, so when we wake up, it's not like in the 40s. It's like maybe 65 degrees, whatever. We woke up and the house was like completely unheated, nothing at all. That's weird. I look at the thermostat. The thermostat says it's on. Went to like take a shower, use the sinks. No hot water at all. And we're just like, what the fuck? That's so weird. None of the natural gas things in our house were working. Somehow our gas line had been damaged. And of course, right away, Mandy was like, well, those delivery guys were here yesterday. Did they do something? And I was like, no, what would they have done? They were only wedging a heavy fridge through a gate that was leaning up against our gas meter. What would they have done? And I'm looking around, I'm looking at the water heater, I'm looking at the HVAC system, like, man, this is so fucking weird. I'm trying to like relight the pilot light
They
and the
destroyed
HVAC
the gas meter,
and I come
didn't
back
they?
in and she's like, you should look at like the gate area. Like those guys had to have done something. And I went and I looked and like it's not obviously damaged, and I smell there's no like gas leaking or whatever. It doesn't seem bad, but clearly it's not working. Apparently in California, on a lot of gas
scared.
meters, as a safety precaution, they put something on there that's called an earthquake detector. And if it detects a rumble, if it detects a shaking, it shuts off the gas to the entire house.
Oh.
And I guess it's sensitive enough that two guys slamming a heavy wooden gate into it and a couple 100-pound fridge into it was enough that it was like, nope, no more gas, shutting that down.
They delivered a fridge so violently your house thought it was an earthquake?
Yes.
All right, cool. Just wanted clarity.
And this was the good team.
Yeah, they did a great job. I love those guys.
Okay. All right. Just check it off my notes here. Got it. All right.
So,
Oh,
okay. And so
that's
finally we get that
kinda
resolved after like a
smart.
day of me. I had like called an HVAC company and was like, you guys gotta fix this. And they were like, okay, we could have a guy there in a week. And I was like, what? I just told you we don't have natural gas. It's like 50 degrees outside. Like, can you hurry up a little? Does anyone, volunteer to give me a spot in line or something? And she's like, no, we'll see you in a week. And that was the best solution I had until we figured out the whole thing.
Can we call this the Cold Man? Can we make a series?
Oh, well, hey, there's some flooding. Don't even worry, man. This is a whole saga.
This was this morning?
Yes.
Oh my
No
god.
fucking idea, man. Okay, so this middle act is kind of quiet, right? So the natural gas thing happened, and then there's a whole week where every day I'm calling the store to be like, hey, you guys tried to deliver us a fridge and it was dented and like you took it back. Like, when do we get the next one? Like, when can we get an idea? I spent an hour and 17 minutes on the phone to the store. I went back and looked because I was shocked, and I never spoke to a human a single time. I mean, it's Lowe's. I don't fucking care. We're not sponsored by Lowe's. It's Lowe's, right? It's like a big appliance, hardware, home improvement store.
Yeah.
There's like 50 people, I don't know, 20 people, however many that work there. I was calling a specific department where there's supposed to be a person. I called 11 times over the entire course of a day. Every time I had a spare 5 minutes, I'd call and be like, maybe I'll get someone now. And I didn't talk to a person the whole day. And their phone loop goes, you call an automated system, ask who you want to connect to. The phone rings in the department you call for a solid 5 minutes. Then you're connected back to the automated service who just does the exact same shit and reconnects you to the same phone that rings for another 5 minutes. And then after you do that a third time, when the phone stops ringing, it just goes boop and hangs up. And that's it.
Do you think they've got like a system in place where they saw who was calling? It's like the delivery guy put a note on your file and it was like dented fridge guy. And they're like, don't take that one. We're not taking that call.
I don't know, man.
I would love for that to be the case. I mean, just with everything these days, it's exactly that. And it was like me trying to call my pharmacy for a prescription I needed was that exact thing, except plus they have this 5-minute long like COVID vaccine disclaimer
yuck.
that is at the beginning of every call. And I get it. Very important for people to know, and I get they probably have a lot of people calling like, when can I get it or where can I get it, stuff like that, and the information all needs to be presented. But I just need to talk to my pharmacist about a prescription, and it's the same thing. Loop through to the pharmacy, it rings, goes back to the machine, it goes back to the department, rings 3 times, and then the same boot. I know that boot. Boop, boop, boop. Done. The same thing.
I get that, like, if you're not reaching someone, there has to be like an endpoint. They don't just want you to infinitely. But God, like, get an answering machine or something. Like, fuck, Seinfeld had an answering machine.
Yeah, it did. That's true.
How does Lowe's not have an answering machine? Even if you don't check it.
I always feel like people exaggerate when they say how long they deal with these automated systems, but I know I've been in this exact same boat. It is just a fact of life that if you have to call a business, expect to have 3 hours of your day just
Aren't
gone.
they supposed to save time? That's what I don't get. They're supposed to save time.
Their time, not ours.
Not your time.
Oh,
It saves
my God.
time because no one on the other end has to even answer it. You get so frustrated, you give up, and they're like, "Oh, thank God, and we didn't have to talk to that person."
In the olden days, God, am I fucking old? Like, what-
Get off my lawn.
Just like when there was music playing, at least you had something to listen to, and you knew you were waiting, and you could put it on speakerphone, and back that you didn't have to.
I think it should be illegal to have anything more than, if you want such and such a department, press 1. For this department, press 2. Anything more than that should be illegal.
Go over, rush over, like, the pharmacy!
Call your
Talk to the
congressman.
pharmacy! Did you hear me?
calling
Pharmacy!
SpongeBob.
I reached that point. I hope they record that with the automated system. The first time I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to reach like appliances. And then you'd be like, connecting you to appliances. And like the sixth time I was like, fucking appliances. And she was like, connecting you to appliances.
Can you imagine if like 911 had an automated system like that?
For Class 1 emergencies, press 1. For Class 2 emergencies, press 2. Stay on the line if this is a major emergency. What's your problem? I'm bleeding! Connecting you to. For bleeding, try calling 911 and your extension will be 67942.
Have you guys ever experienced?
For our internet provider, it's Sparklight. I've only ever had like 3 issues with it the entire almost half a year that I've had it. 2 of them were outages, and one of them I couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong. So I had to call their IT desk. And they're like, for IT, press 1. Like, okay, boop. If this is about a device, press 1. I'm like, no, it's not about a device. If this is about a router that came with your service that is branded Sparklight, press 2. I'm like, yep, that's probably what it is. It's like, if you are sure that this is a problem with our modem, press 1. If you are unsure, press 2. I'm like, I'm unsure, I'll press 2, whatever. And then it's like, transferring your call. The
stereotypical hold music.
Yeah, and then it's like, no one is available to answer your call. If you'd like someone to call you back, press 1. If you want to stay on hold, press 2. And I'm like, okay, I'll stay on hold. And then I called them at least 7 different times. And about 3 of those times, as soon as I hit, I would like to stay on hold, it hung up on me. And on the 7th call that I made to these guys, before I even hit 1 for the tech desk, I just screamed, "Help me, motherfuckers!" And then they're like, transferring you to a live agent. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I actually looked it up, and 9 times out of 10, if you scream "fuck," it'll transfer you to a live agent. No matter who you call. Seriously, like, a lot of people have reported that works.
I'm gonna call the Mormon helpline. See if that works.
Okay.
I had to call health and welfare a little while back. I don't know if I told you the story or not.
I think so. Probably.
And I need to stop fiddling with that.
Yeah.
And I called him like a gadillion times.
A gadillion?
Yes, I had to make a new number
Okay.
on day 1, and I got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Except for a callback after hours of a guy saying, "Yeah, you'll have to try again tomorrow."
Gee, thanks, Jackhole.
Like, he literally called me just to tell me to try again tomorrow.
Uh-huh. I mean, at least they received your message.
Yeah, they just didn't give a fuck about
Yeah.
it. So, the second day, I call him times,
Uh-huh.
and I do the option to have them call me back.
Mm-hmm.
They never fucking called back.
Yeah.
Not once.
Mm-hmm.
And when I called to see if I was still in line,
Uh-huh.
quote unquote, it had kicked me from the fucking line.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just infuriating.
Yeah.
And then the third day, because of course there's a third day, I had to be at the health and welfare office at 8.
Oh, yeah.
And they tried fighting with me because I didn't know my full social security number. It's like, I can barely remember to wipe my ass in the morning. You expect me to memorize, what, 16 digits? Is it 16?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 digits.
Okay, well, still, that's a lot for me to memorize.
Because it's 3, 2, 3. Or no, 3, 2, 4, I think is what it is.
I struggle to memorize phone numbers. You think
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to remember a fucking social security number?
Do you have your physical card?
No.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah.
Then why don't you have it? Where is it?
It's in Boise.
You should have your mom send it to you.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Because I think it's only like, if you've only ever had one card, I think it's only like $10 to get a new one shipped to you. And every time after that, it's like $20.
As far as I know, I've had the same card since I was born.
You know what's bullshit? Those things are null and void if you laminate them.
Seriously?
Seriously. And they're literally made out of like rice paper or something.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because the laminate, whatever, can be hiding like errors from like
Counterfeit.
Yeah.
I thought it was because if you try and scan it in a printer or whatever, it can like reflect and make it come out wonky. I thought that might be why.
That might be it too. I don't know. But I would assume the counterfeit, because it's not just normal paper with normal ink.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how they print money.
Yeah, because I know that if you like look really, really closely at a social security card, it has like tiny little dots,
Yeah.
almost like a comic book. Yeah. So, anyway, tangent.
There are a couple places, I think Lexi's Vet and somewhere else that I call, have like the same hold system. They have the same music. And I always get put on hold when I have to talk to these people. And literally it's like in my head, like, like, and every time it comes on, my brain is just like, drama. God, like, at least get a playlist. How hard is it to get like 10 songs and have a playlist for your hold music? It's the same 2.5-minute long shit, and it's the same song the whole time. There's not even like a difference. There's like 2 sections. There's an A and a B, and they're not even that different.
Yeah, I'm like, they're like, we'll play some relaxing music, and it's at max volume.
Yeah, and then the person that answers the phone is like whispering, and you can't hear them at all because you've been listening to blaring music for half an hour.
You have the music on, and you turn it way down, and then a person gets on, they're like, hello, and you're like, fuck, god damn it. Got a fucking headache from your 38,000 decibel hold music. Now I can't hear you. I want some chicken sandwiches.
And they're either so pleasant it makes you more mad because you've been waiting so long, or they're just like so nonchalant. Like, there's no in between. They're either way too nice or way too apathetic. There's no in between.
Yeah, I once called when they had, you know how we value your call, but it was someone at the place that recorded that, so they picked up the phone like, we value your call.
Please keep waiting.
Like legitimately, like they just stopped mid-bite to say this.
Oh, I left that out. So in the cycle that I was caught in, that was part of it. As the phone is ringing for like 5 minutes, in the middle of that, there's a computer voice that comes on and is like, "We really value your call. We're trying our best to answer it." And then it goes back to ringing. And like I probably started talking to that dumb piece of shit.
I would love if all these different companies recorded like all of that so we could just hear playback of everyone getting so fed the fuck up with waiting that we just hear them like,
Yeah, you value my fucking call, but I value my foot up your ass, stupid computer.
You know Amazon is recording all of the things from Alexa, so you know they've got all that somewhere.
It's out there, man. It's on the cloud, man.
it's going to be leaked one day and we're going to have a really fun listen.
They're on hold, or if you've been on the line for a really long time, you can listen in on the call and they won't know. The person who's on the other end won't know. So sometimes when I'm on the line for like the DMV, if I'm renewing my plates, or like the cell phone company that I go through, whatever, half the time I'll just be all like, this is bullshit, why am I on hold for so long? Almost like probably 50% of the time, as soon as I start talking shit, somebody answers. And the only reason why I know that is because
You worked in a call center, didn't you?
well, yeah, for tech support for the internet company. But when I got hired there, they were just switching over like phone programs. So like half of the building was on this new phone program and the other half was on the old phone program. And one time they asked for a tech support person to come up to the front of the building to help somebody with a router that they brought in. And I went up there and I fixed their issue. And they're like, hey, come here. You want to hear something funny? I'm like, what? She's like, come here. And she put the headset up to my ear. And somebody was like bitching out. It sounded like their wife over like burnt toast or something like that. It was a burnt, maybe it was an omelet, I don't remember, but like burnt breakfast food or something. And they were just they weren't even like swearing. They were like, you dumb lame duck or something like that. You infertile monkey, or like you water-headed ape or something like all of these really weird insults. And I'm like, how can you hear that? And she said, yeah, we have them on hold. This is the I think it was the new system. Like, yeah, with the new system, if you have somebody on hold, you can still hear them. And I'm like, oh, interesting. And like 3 months into the job, we got the new system. And that was one of my favorite things to do, is just keep the headset on, have them on hold, work while I'm listening to them, and like maybe not quite 25% of the time, maybe 15% of the time, you could hear them being like, "Oh, my ass itches," or like, "Hey, darling, can you grab me a roll of toilet paper? I forgot it to grab it before I got in here." Just random little embarrassing things, and I'm like, "Oh my fucking god."
Yeah.
Okay, so there are multiple days of that. Suffice it to say, finally, we learn that we're going to get a refrigerator. It's going to come. It's going to come 9 days after it was initially supposed to be there. Whatever. But fine. Like, you know what? Fine. It's not like we needed it right away. It's just a refrigerator. We'll get it and it'll be fine. So that leads us to this morning, which initially we were supposed to get together earlier this morning. And when we were setting that up, I was like, I don't know. I got this thing. I'm going to be busy. I'll let you guys know. And last night they sent me a text message that was like, expect your delivery between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. tomorrow. And I was like, okay, that's a 4-hour window. So it'll probably come at the least convenient part, but like, I'll set that window aside. That'll be fine. And this morning I was literally on a call with you guys. We were getting ready to do exactly what we're doing right now. And my phone starts ringing and it's like a local number, which I know means it's the delivery guys. An hour and 40 minutes before they're supposed to be at my house. It's the delivery guys. And I pick it up and he's like, we'll be there in 10 minutes. And I'm like, why did the system tell me 11 to 3 then? And he's like, I don't know, sir. We're on our way. And I'm like, this is incredibly inconvenient. Can you come at the time that you're scheduled? And he was like, nope, we're on our way. And I literally, to you guys, I was like, okay, I gotta go, I guess. We'll do this later, right? Okay, bye. Schedules are for nerds. So that's how it starts. And they show up, and the guy, of course, I mean, I'm sure customers all the time try and tell these dudes, like, oh, this is the deal. Here's what you should do. And they're like, no. I know what I need to do. He gets there, and I'm like, okay, so we already tried to deliver this. You guys can't come in through the front. There's a door that it won't fit through. So you kind of have to go around back. I'll show you. And he's like, what do you mean we can't come in through the front? And I'm like, ooh. I mean, we've been here. Literally, I did this 9 days ago. I'm just saving you some time. It won't fit. And he's like, nah, let me measure it. And like, fine. But also, like, fuck you. Like, goddamn. So he comes in and he looks and he measures the little door into the kitchen. He measures the garage door and he looks at me. He's like, oh, yeah, it's definitely not going to fit through here. And I look at him and I'm like, do you want to see the side yard? This has already been over a week of me being pissed at these people for not communicating and being pissed at the first guys for the gas line thing. I'm not being rude, but I'm already on this fuse of like, just put it in. Just give us the fridge and get out of here. I'm busy. And so I show him the side yard. And so I don't know how to take care of a yard yet. Mandy and I have never lived in a place where we had to take care of the whole yard. We have like a fenced in yard here. The side yard is grassy. It's not supposed to be there, but you know how it's like weeds basically, right? And they grew really tall. I haven't touched them. We don't really go over there. I haven't taken care of it. If I was a good responsible homeowner, I would have like trimmed all that grass or I don't know, sprayed weed killer or something. We get over there. It's just grass, right? It's grass, tall grass. We get over there and he's like, oh, I hope we can get through here. As we're casually strolling through this 3 foot tall, dead, thin grass. He's like, I don't know, can you trim this? And I was like, well, I thought I had an hour and a half before you were going to be here. That was on my list. It's too late now. But yes, he makes every fucking thing that happens. This dude is like, oh, God, I don't know. And I'm like, just bring the fridge. So I open the gate to the side thing, and they brave the jungle that is our side yard. After they spend 20 minutes cutting all of the 7 layers of packaging off the fridge out in the street, they come and they drag it around. And so we have a fridge in there, and it already has a water line because it has an ice maker. And so you have to take it out to put the new one in. You have to pull it out. You have to undo the water line. There's supposed to be some kind of shutoff. These guys cannot find the shutoff to the water line. And he looks at me and he's like, do you know how to do this? And I'm like, I don't know. Is it my fucking job to install a refrigerator? I don't think so. And like, he looks at me, he's like, there should be a shutoff. You should know where that is. I'm like, bro, I just fucking bought this house. Why would I know anything about that? I didn't install it. And he was like, can you call the previous homeowner? Like, yeah, let me call her up. We're buddies. I bought her house and now we get dinner every 2 weeks. Obviously. God. So his brilliant solution is he just unhooks the water and the water is just like sprayed, and he just kinks the line real quick. Like he unhooks it and he knows it's not shut off, and he's all surprised that water starts spraying everywhere. And so he just kinks the line, and I'm like, okay, well, just hold the line kinked and that'll be fine. And he holds it up to me and is like, I'm gonna need you to hold this so we can finish. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm not gonna make a joke about this or be angry. Fine. Do this, get that fucking thing out of here, bring the other one in here, plug in the whatever, let's do this. And so I'm standing in my own kitchen holding a water line with a bucket under it because it's even kinked off, it's still dripping, right? So I'm holding a little bucket to make sure we don't get any water everywhere. There's a front window in the kitchen, so I can see they bring the old one out. I see them go out to the front where their truck is and they're doing stuff. And then I see them with the new refrigerator and they bring it around. And so I know they're like on the way. I kind of see what they're making progress. Yeah. And then while I'm standing in the refrigerator, the back slider is open. And I'm just standing there with the stupid kinked hose that I can't leave. And I just hear from the backyard like, kerchink, whoosh. And then one guy goes, oh shit. And they just start rushing around. And I'm just standing here like, I can't go look. I don't know what's happening. It sounds like water is leaking. I have no idea where that would be coming from. They don't come in. They don't come ask me anything or like do anything so that I can help. They're just rushing around back there like, oh, but what if you did that? Like I can kind of hear what they're doing. And Mandy is like working. Like it's the middle of a Friday. Mandy is busy working, so I can't just be like, hey, come help. I stand there for maybe 10 or 15 minutes before I finally text Mandy and I'm like, I know you're busy, but some fucking terrible thing is happening. Like, please, you come just hold this so I can try and like help these idiots. And so she comes out and she's like, this is an inconvenience for her. I walk out there and there's water is erupting up out of the ground like a geyser has started gushing. I don't know what has happened. Apparently, what genius number 2 did is they had the fridge on a dolly wideways, right? So it's the widest way it could be to drag it around. And there was a bush. They were trying to drag it through this little path that's like, it's like a sidewalk width. It's not a wide path, but it's wide enough if the refrigerator was sideways, it probably would have fit right through. They were going to drag it through wideways and apparently just fucking destroy this bush. But also apparently inside this bush is a PVC pipe coming out of the ground that's part of like the irrigation system that I have no idea the details of it because it's been here since God knows when. It's super old and it's honestly, it's on my list of like, I need to have like a professional come look. This irrigation system is kind of old and janky. I don't know if it still works right or whatever. Like he just sees the bush and is like, fuck that bush. What he did was he dragged the fridge right through the bush and snapped off the fucking PVC pipe. And there's just a geyser of water coming up out of the ground. And what they were doing when I went out there, which is apparently what they had been doing the whole 10 minutes, is one of them was standing there staring, like thinking, and the other one had the broken off PVC pipe. It was trying to like jam it back on, like it was just gonna slip right back on. And like they looked over at me and were like he might as well. I don't remember what he said because the rage started boiling at this point inside of me. He looked over at me and like blankly looked at me and gestured at the water and looked at the water and looked back at me like I'm gonna fucking fix it. Like I magically know what the hell is happening and how to fix this. Taking cleansing breaths, clenching my fists a little too hard, digging my nails into my palms, kind of hurts. Oh, okay. God. Yeah. So like literally they did this. And the one guy who, apparently the guy who was standing there watching is the one who did it. And he looked at me and he was like, I can't believe that pipe was in there. It was hidden in there. And it's an accident, you know? And like, I wish I had said this, but it's not like it's not grass. It's not a flower or something you could like, ooh, push it over and scoot. It's a big fucking bush. To get the thing through where he got it through, he literally had to pull it up to that gap and it stopped and he was like, ooh, this bush is in the way. And he was just like, no, it's not. Let's go. God. Oh. Oh. I don't know what led them to that action, but there's no version of that that's not just so fucking stupid that it makes me unbelievably angry. Even right now, and this has just happened a few hours ago now. I'm still so mad. Oh. Okay.
No, God, no, it's not.
I don't know, man. Like, I couldn't even. And so this leads to a whole series of, like, finally, I'm like, we need to shut the water off to the house, you fucking idiots. Like, you're not going to wedge that pipe back on there. It snapped off, doesn't fit back on. There's no super glue. There's no flex tape. We got to turn the water off to the whole house. And so the guy who seemed to be in charge of this was like, right, the water main. And he handed me the pipe and was like, hold this on there. Like that was going to do something. Like he was holding it on there. And you know, when you have a hose and you put your thumb over it and the water sprays out, that's what he was doing. He was not keeping any water inside of anything. He was just holding this pipe down and spraying water fucking everywhere. And he was like, you hold this, I'll go do the, and I like took it from him and I did it for a minute, but I was standing there like, this isn't doing anything. Like, as I was doing it, I was like, he said, hold it. I'm going to hold. Why would I hold this? What is this doing? And eventually I just set it down and walk out front. And he's like on the street. So the way water service works, generally, I think in America, there's like a line that runs sort of along your street if you're in like a suburban area. Each house has like a line that comes off that main line that goes into the house. And so down where that connection is, where like your water meter might be, there's usually like a master shutoff, like a main thing. But also, I didn't know this because I've not owned a house that had this before. I've only ever lived in apartments and townhouses or rentals where it wasn't my thing. Apparently, there's also always a main water shutoff inside the house. And so the one down by the street was like really difficult. It wouldn't budge. It was like seized up. This house was built in the 70s. It's fairly old. And so this pipe has been down here for a long time. And this dude is just like wanging away on it with a wrench and sprayed it with WD-40, and he's asking me if I have tools, which, like, I get that it's not part of his job to have to shut off the main water to a house, but these dudes literally were looking at me like I was their boss. Every step of the way, they were like, it's not turning. Both turn and look at me, what do we do? And I'm standing here like, this doesn't seem like how you install a fridge. I don't know. I have different expectations. I'm as confused as you are. More probably. And so eventually, like, I'm sitting here Googling on my phone. Dummy number 1 and dummy number 2 are like hitting the pipe with a wrench, doing nothing, looking at each other. Nothing. Eventually, I'm Googling and I find some stuff that's like, there should be an outdoor shutoff and there should be an indoor shutoff. And I go start looking around my house frantically for any sort of valve I can shut off. Finally, after a solid half hour of water fucking destroying my backyard, flooding our patio. By the way, they left the brand new fridge that they had bragged back there. He got it a full 3 feet away from the water explosion before he set the fridge down and was like, let me fix this. So this fridge is literally sitting in a muddy puddle getting sprayed with water for half an hour. Which, to be fair, I did not think of either, but I'm out here like my mind is exploding with rage that these guys just fucking broke, because it's not fixed still. So, like, my house is no longer flooding. Well, my patio, whatever, that's dramatic. So finally, I turn the water off, and everything calms down for a second. And I look at these guys, and they look pretty shaken, because, like, sure, what did they just do? And I look at them, and I'm like, okay, so how do we fix this? Like, do you have a plumber that you call? Do you call your boss? Like, you did this. How do you fix this? And he looks at me and he's like, you're going to have to talk to Lowe's about that. Apparently, these fucking guys don't even work for Lowe's. They work for a third-party company that Lowe's contracts to deliver. And I'm like, at this point, everything's calming down a little. I'm still so mad that I'm like, they looked like they were a little scared of me because my face was not pleasant. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to call Lowe's. You guys go do the fucking thing, put the fridge in there. I'm going to call Lowe's. I call, and my first thought is, okay, I'm going to get into the infinite loop of no one's going to answer, right? Because I just did this for a whole week. I call, and miraculously, a human answers the phone. And I explain, like, hey, your guys are here delivering a fridge. They ripped a thing out of the ground and flooded my backyard, and there's an active water leak. How do we fix this? And they said I should contact you. And he's like, yeah, just 1 second. And puts me on hold right away. Like, doesn't even let me respond. So I'm on hold for a couple minutes. Comes back. He's like, okay, I talked to my manager. So what we have to do is you give me your information, like your name and your address and whatever, and we will initiate contact with the company that we contracted to do the delivery. And in my mind, I'm like, wait. I'm talking to the guys who work for the company who just damaged my house, and they said I should talk to you. So the process is they direct me to you, who make contact with them on my behalf. It's a whole thing. At this point, I'm like, all the water's off to our entire house, right? Sinks don't work, no running water whatsoever. Hopefully this will be fixed fast, like tomorrow, maybe today if we're lucky. And the guy's like, yeah, so we'll make contact, and then within 24 to 48 hours, they will reach out to you and start the process of getting it scheduled to get this fixed. And I'm like, okay, you understand, the water is off to my entire house right now. It's not acceptable that maybe within 48 hours, maybe we can start the process of maybe getting this fixed. And the guy's like, That's the process. This is the process. And I literally, this is the point where I start to lose it. Like, I'm super cordial. I've been a delivery driver. I've worked in food service. I know what it's like when people are totally shitty to you and you have to try and maintain, decorum. You have to try and be professional. So even when people are terrible to me, I'm always like, oh, I appreciate that. Like, try and be nice. And I say to this dude, like, what the fuck do you mean? This is you hear me, right? Your company just damaged my house unrelated to what you're doing. I start swearing at this dude. I start saying, like, what the fuck? Like, my shit is broken right now. My fucking house doesn't have water. And he literally, I think I broke him a little. And he literally pauses and is like, do you not want to do this process? Because this is the only process. And like, I almost fucking threw my phone. And I get that this one random dude at the store is not going to fix my problem. But holy fuck, I almost yeeted my cell phone into space because and so I go through the whole thing. Apparently, we're fucked at this point, right? We're just not going to have water for God knows how long, up to 2 days at minimum. In the back of my mind, I'm like, there's no way this is how this is resolved. This is completely unacceptable. But I know if I just call an emergency plumber myself and have them come fix it, there's no way I'm getting that fucking money back. Like, they're not going to pay me. They're going to be like, oh, you fixed it. Good. Thank you. And then never call me again.
Yeah.
And so at this point, I just calm down and I start talking to the dudes. They're almost done putting the fridge in. And the guy is like, well, there should be a way to turn off the, irrigation system, right? Should have a separate water supply. And I'm like, okay, where would that be? And he's like, I don't know, man. It's your house. And I'm like, trying to stay calm. This is a new house, man. I don't know. Like, do you have any ideas? And he's like, I don't know, man. It's all different. Every house is different. But there should be one. Like, you just got to turn that off and you'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, are you going to help me turn that off? And he's like, well, we're almost done with the fridge and then we'll be out of your hair. Like, no. So you're going to leave me with no water and a theory about a valve that will fix my problems in the short term. And this dude was not fucking helping. They're doing the fridge and he's like, wow, there's definitely a way to do what I'm talking about. You just have to find that. Oh, I'm livid at this point. You could tell because I'm still livid. I wander around. Eventually, I find a magical nozzle under a different spigot in an area I would never have guessed that turns off the water flow to the irrigation system, and we can have water in the house. Problem solved. Right as these guys are almost done with the fridge, I find this and I come in and I'm like, hey, I think I found the thing. Like, is the fridge hooked up? Can I turn the water onto the house? And he's like, yeah. We're all good. He looked me right in my fucking eyes and was like, see, I told you there'd be a thing. This fucking guy who just ruined my entire morning, damaged my house, damaged an irrigation system that's probably so fucking old they don't even make replacement parts or there's gonna be some dumb shit from this where it's like, oh, we can't fix it. Oh no, well, it's good. We can fix it in like 2 months or something. There's gotta be some fucking fallout from this. These fucking guys, and he looks me in my stupid bright red face and is like, see, I told you so. In that tone, my fists clenched at my sides. I have never been in a fight. I am not a confrontational person. I am generally polite and cordial with everyone, no matter how much of a dick they are to me. He said that. I didn't say shit. He said that to me. I clenched my fists and my jaw and just went, and just walked out to the garage and turned the water on. As I'm coming back inside, these dudes are gone. They are gone. I come into the house, I look out the back, and the thing is not gushing. And I turn on the sink real quick, and it's working. And I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. It's fine. So we have water. The thing is, the irrigation is still broken, but it's isolated, so it'll be fine. We'll just get it fixed. It'll be fine. And as I'm standing at the sink in the kitchen, I'm looking out the front, and the dudes are like frantically like tossing their shit in the back of the truck, like tossing the tools, tossing the garbage that they had, the whatever, the clothes in the back. And I'm like, they can't be leaving. Don't I have to sign something saying that I accepted this expensive appliance? They're just going to leave it? They just fucking yeet everything in the truck and get in that motherfucker and speed off. Not another word. They knew what the fuck they did. They were fucking gone, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was my expression and my fist clenching or if they were just planning to do this the whole time. And now... So right before we started this, Manny texted me from the other room and is like, hey, water's not coming out of the fridge. Is it supposed to be getting cold? The fridge isn't cold and it doesn't seem to be working. And I just went out there and looked at it and it's not cold. It's been plugged in for like an hour. It's not getting cold. There's no water coming out. I'm hoping there's like a first time setup or some shit that you have to go through and push a certain thing of buttons or something. But like if they set it up incorrectly, if they just stopped what they were doing and were like, fuck, leave, fucking leave, get out of here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I lose my fucking mind. I'm just gonna start punching things or something because I have rarely felt this angry in my entire life at anything.
If they ran because they knew it was broken and they were afraid.
Oh my god.
Like all the water had somehow short-circuited something in the pump or something like that. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry.
Do you still not know if your fridge works?
No. When I came back to record this, it was still 80 degrees inside the fridge and the freezer, and no water was coming out, and there was no sign of any reason why that would be happening.
Yeah, everyone listening at home, please understand. This actually happened an hour ago. This is literally...
This all started at 9:30-ish a.m., and it's like it's just after 1 p.m. right now.
Yeah. Oh my god. There's nothing I love more. And I know it's not pleasant for you, Bob, but there's nothing I love more than indignant rage, Bob. It's so...
It's happened like 3 times. Yeah, it takes so much to get me here.
It's so rare, but God, it's beautiful.
Well, the first dudes broke something else, right? The gas line wasn't working?
Yeah, so the first delivery, the fridge got dented. They claimed it wasn't them.
Yeah.
I had no evidence they did it, but it was dented, and they were trying to get me to accept it anyway, and they screwed up the gas line, which was an easy fix. The problem was more than I didn't know that the earthquake shutoff thing even existed. Once I learned what that was, it took me like 5 minutes to fix it. So right now in my backyard, there's a piece of pipe with a relay on top of it laying in the backyard. There's a dirt all over everything on the patio, including my grill, which was like 2 feet away from this incident. Like, it's this very first world problem. It'll clean off. I understand that. But like, my whole backyard's a fucking explosion mess right now. And the fucking gall on that dude. Like, every step of the way was that exact same tone of like, see, I told you.
Let me check it. Hey, let me measure it.
It sounds like the needs more mud guy all over again, dude. I feel that. Like, I feel that guy. He's the Californian version of, it just needs more mud.
It'll get more mud.
See, man, told you more mud would fix it.
For those of you who don't know what this reference is, watch the Drowned Man series on youtube.com/Markiplier.
Yeah.
I also humbly surrender for this episode because there's literally nothing I could say that would ever compete with that story.
Well, now listen, I'm the judge, and so I feel like I need to assign some points here.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Bob, for getting so royally fucked in all this mess, I award you 69 points.
Thank you.
Mark, for yielding your time and not even trying to compete, I'm actually going to give you 20,000 points.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but for today only.
4.
Okay.
So he goes out after the recording, and there is a hose that is supposed to be installed into the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't install it.
Oh.
It was left in the bag on the road, and they essentially drove off and yeeted it out of the back of the truck. This is like an $80 hose.
I would want these motherfuckers fired.
But he takes it, he plugs it in, does the thing, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is fine. I'm sure he even got the fucking irrigation fixed by now.
Yeah.
Because this, again, was like a year ago.
Well, yeah.
So, all's well that ends well, I guess.
I don't blame the guy from Lowe's that was like, well, there's a process. Do you want to continue with the process or not? Because I've been that guy.
Yeah, like...
But at the same time, like, these fucking bozos, these fucking chuckle fucks... fucking Laurel and Hardy over here, they need to get fucking fired.
Chuckle fucks.
You've never heard that before?
No.
It's.
I'm gonna use that from now on.
I've used it a few times at least.
Not here.
Not here.
Not once. That is literally the first time ever I have heard that.
Okay.
And it is great. I'm stealing that. Listen here, you chuckle fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been the guy on the other end of the line with Lowe's. I've been that guy, but tech support.
Yeah. It sucks because like you want to fix the problem, but you can't.
Yeah, there's literally nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it like I get it. It's a shitty situation for almost everyone involved.
Yeah.
Except for Lowe's, that is like, yeah, we could do it on our time.
Yeah. I was gonna say I've had some. Well, I've had a couple of delivery mishaps. But nothing so fucking egregious.
Yeah.
Like, literally the worst delivery mishap that's ever happened to me is I got a laptop from Aaron's, and I was like, okay, give me. And they're like, no, we have to deliver it to you. And I'm like, but I'm right here. It's like, yeah, but we need to confirm the address, so we're going to ship it to your place through, like, their delivery vans or whatever. And I'm like, just send me a letter and I'll send it back. I'm right here. The laptop's here. I gave you my down payment in first month. Give me the fucking laptop. I'm like, no, we'll deliver it to you in two to 3 days. I'm like, I'm right here. Give it to me. And they're like, sir, you need to calm down. And I'm like, you need to give me my fucking laptop.
Which one was it?
Oh, it was a long time ago. It was, yeah. It was before I even got my PS4 from there.
Jesus.
Yeah, which is really funny because that was before the Aaron's next to us changed ownership. And after they changed ownership, I had nothing but smooth sailing there. Like, so much so that when I got my PS4 from there, they the controller that they gave me was busted, and the manager took time out of his own personal day to drive over to Walmart, buy a controller with his own fucking money, drive back and give it to me. Brand new controller. That's how nice that manager was versus the manager from before they switched hands.
We needed to deliver it to you. No.
Like, do you want my ID? I can give you my ID. I can give you 3 forms of identification right now. Give me my fucking laptop.
I take it they didn't give it to you.
No, they had to put a laptop in the back of their moving van, drive it to me, and hand it to me at my door. And it was really funny because I shouldn't have been.
Did they actually have to hand it to you?
Yes.
Or else they wouldn't have delivered it?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh.
But they.
Because
I shouldn't. I shouldn't have given the delivery driver attitude. But he was all like, here you go, sir. And I'm like, gee, thanks. And he's like, sign here. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, enjoy your day. And I'm like, I'll try.
Poor dude.
And in the back of my mind the whole time, I was like, I could have enjoyed the last 3 days, but no, I couldn't do that.
I could have watched so much porn.
Exactly.
So I just want to say that before we started, Nick was like, this better be good.
Yeah.
And
On
a scale of 1 to 10,
it was like a 6. It was a pretty good story.
do you regret that we did that?
No.
It was very fun.
It was pretty fun. It could have been a lot shorter, but other than that, it was pretty fun.
Yeah. But I fucking love that story so much. I've watched that, well, listened to that millions of times already.
Yeah.
And it still gets me every fucking time. I fucking love it.
Well, we're at an hour and 32 minutes.
Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I was more shocked.
Yeah. Really quick, super duper quick, future editor Morgan. throw in the clip, the call. I think it's less than 15 minutes long, so this can be like an extra long episode. It's fine. Basically what happened was that I was sitting here like a good little boy playing Civilization 5 like I normally do.
Because Civilization's awesome.
Mindlessly, autistically, playing Civilization 5, and I got a call. And it was a scam call. And I booted up OBS as fast as I possibly could and recorded what I could, but it was a very short snippet. So we decided to call the number back and have a little bit of fun. Here, right here, this right here, put it right here. This is the call.
Injuries you may have suffered in the accident, like you had neck pain, back pain, shoulder stiffness, or your lower back was hurt.
I lost my left leg.
Oh my god.
Damn it! Fucking damn it!
They don't answer.
Hello. Hi. I got a call a little bit ago about about possibly getting a reimbursement for my car crash that I was in last year, and I got disconnected. Hello? 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 I'd like compensation for my left leg. Sir, please, this is very important.
Are you on hold?
Hello? Please, I left my leg in Vietnam. I need help finding it. It was a 2012 Mitsubishi Lancer. The other car was a Oldsmobile van. I don't remember what kind of van it was. But there was a Vietnamese family of 17 in there, and they all died. And they're survivors. They owe me a lot of money because of my leg.
The van was diarrhea brown.
I don't know if you have me on hold. I don't know if you're like pulling up my records or what, but my name is Jonathan Jacobson. I'm sure you probably have my records pulled up with my phone number. I think the driver, it was a lady. I think her name was Ming Ling Pao. Which is really, really fortuitous because that's the sound of our two cars hitting each other. It was pow. My Mitsubishi is, it's totaled. It's candy apple red.
Now it's a cube.
And then the van that they were driving, it was like a baby diarrhea green. This is a pretty long hold. Do you put all of your your clients on hold for this long?
Jonathan, get off the toilet!
I haven't been on this long of a hold since my wife died with my dick in her hand. Which subsequently was before the crash because my wife also died in the crash. I just lost my leg. I'm gonna just keep sitting here until you take me off hold or whatever. I want my compensation. That Gook family owes me a lot of money.
Am I? I wonder what would happen if you're on the line with them and I called them. I'm gonna go get my phone.
Okay. By the way, my mic is not being picked up.
Still recording?
Beep. Okay. There we go. Sorry about the shitty audio. It's By the way, Morgan's over there. This happened very randomly.
Okay, I'm good.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the...
I wonder if he... What?
Bring the phone over. Oh.
Oh, he finally hung up! Fuck! Let me try calling him again.
Hello?
Hello? Is anybody there? Hello? I'm trying to get compensation for my left leg. And my wife. Because she's dead. A bunch of Vietnamese people rammed into us. It was like 17 people in one van. It was fucking horrifying. I don't even need a lot of compensation. I just need about $3.50. For a pack of Camels, that's all I need. Hello?
My leg is getting angry.
My leg is floating somewhere in the ether in a black hole because of some fucking Vietnamese. And I need your help. Only you can prevent Vietnamese leg vehicle crash shit. It's not enough that my left leg got crushed and amputated. They stole it too. They came back from the dead, burst through the operating table room, and literally stole my leg and then disappeared. They dematerialized like fucking Spider-Man in Endgame. Where's my compensation?
Good evening.
Good evening. You sound a little robotic. Are you feeling okay? Anyways, I got a voicemail referring to a crash I had a little over a year ago. And it mentioned compensation. And I want to learn more about that. Yeah, the crash was pretty bad. I rolled my car over and had to crawl out and got run over by Oompa Loompas. I became a pancake. So, when do I get my money for my internal organs being squished? Squish, squash, I'm lying on the road, dying. Bum, 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 bum. Hello? Am I on hold? My wife tried to use my dick as a seatbelt. Yeah, she put that on hold real fucking good, but it didn't help her.
Just hang up.
Hello? They've hurt my voice cords.
Just hang up. I miss my wife! Obviously, it was a robo pickup, whatever.
Yeah.
They're never gonna hear that. That's
Yeah.
really disappointing. But
Taboo Tots. The calling. Or something. I don't know. That was stupid.
welcome back. That was, whoo boy, we had a lot of fun with that. That was like almost a week ago. Almost.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about it.
You did?
Dude, the amount of things I've edited,
Yeah.
I am surprised I even know fucking what my name is. How that makes sense,
Mugen.
I don't know, but
It's Mugen.
thank you. I thought it was Dave.
Thank you for joining us for another adventure into bullshit. We hope that you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment what your favorite color is and where you like to get tickled. Enjoy all the links
Stay
down
the
below.
fuck over there.
Take a look at all the links down below. We got a Cash App if you want to donate. There's a Red Bubble. I haven't put a whole lot of stuff on there in quite a while. Just do all the stuff. Engage. Help us out.
Have fun.
Thank you for the last couple of people who have subscribed. We are at 35 subscribers.
No.
Yeah.
Show me right now.
It was either no, because we were at 34 before, so it would be 35. Because I know we only got one. Actually, I think I can see specifically the like usernames or whatever. Oh no, it is 34. Okay.
Seriously though, still that's fucking phenomenal. Thank you guys.
Can I analytics? Interesting. Our audience is 28% 25 to 34 years old, 28% 35 to 44 years old, and 11% 45 and up. And then 74% male, 25% female. 38% of our audience is from the United States, and 2% is from Canada, and 2% is from the United Kingdom.
Really?
Yes.
Are those like reoccurring views or?
I have no idea. It just says your audience.
Interesting.
Really? Yeah, it says all time 34 subscribers, 4.9 thousand views across all of our videos, 85 likes, 26 comments, and 8 shares. Not too shabby. But yeah, 34 subscribers. Yeah. Within the first year, we only got like 20. So not even... So a little bit more than halfway through the year, we've gotten almost 20.
You guys are phenomenal. Like, truly.
Anyway.
What is it about us that people like? These people.
Thanks for making me depressed. Just kidding.
No, like, genuine question, you know? I know that a few of my Tech Talk videos have done well. That
I'm
should
pretty
make-
handsome, I think.
No.
No. I don't know.
Which, speaking of Tech Talk,
I think a big factor on the amount of views that we got in the last 30 days, which last 30 days was 61 views.
what the fuck?
Yeah, either 30 or 60 days. I can actually check that again. The past 7 days we've got 61 views.
What?
Consistent uploads. I think that's what's been doing it. Is we've been uploading almost every day, once a day.
Honestly, I've just been enjoying things a lot more
Yeah.
since we've started branching out from not just doing the podcast, which, don't get me wrong, I love doing the podcast. But I love doing Morgan Plays. I love doing Tech Talk. I love Couch Potatoes, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that the variety definitely...
It does help.
Yeah.
Being able to do more than just one or two things does help.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time when I hire a genie to fingy me pee-pee.
So you're going to be doing that episode alone.
Okay, see ya, bye.